the most common advice I say is that you have to avoid your triggers. And it's fine if it's like chocolate, it's food. But when it comes to other stuff, because triggers is not just food related, it can be environment related, people, or work. For me, my biggest trigger was work, and that's why I used to procrastinate a lot, because every time I just have to sit down and do some really stressful, overwhelming tasks, I couldn't really handle it. I would get constant thoughts of food, because over time I formed the connection that when I feel stressed and overwhelmed, I think about snacking. So stress equals snacking. Because of this connection I made in the past, every time I feel overwhelmed or stressed, I think about food. And those thoughts couldn't really leave me alone. I couldn't focus on my work because I was like, okay, let me just a 5-minute break, and I'd go make myself coffee or tea and some cookies, and then sit at my desk and try to get some work done. And guess what? I would feel hungry again. And this would really go on and on. And it was a lot for me. And that's why I put off work and I didn't get things done, things that were important and would actually make a real progress in my life. That's why this advice doesn't really apply, and it's not really the best thing you can do for yourself, because you're gonna end up living a small and limited life. For some people, triggers can be, going to a social event or visiting family, new job opportunities, or anything. It's not always food related, and it's so much more than you actually thought, because when you think of triggers, you just think about pizza, cake, chocolate, chips, cookies, but it's not just that, it's a lot. And I also didn't realize that. I would avoid certain situations or people because of the same thing, because it was a trigger for me and it would just make me relapse or think about food a lot. So, how to stop stress eating? First, you have to acknowledge the pattern and the association you've created. So in my case, it was work and a stressful task. So that was a stressful task, something that I didn't really know much. I didn't know how to get done. It would require a lot of mental strain. That equaled food, snacking. So what I did is take a piece of paper. This is important. I don't know what is about it, but it just, again, it solidifies it. It kind of puts it into perspective. You just get out of your head in a way, and you see what you're dealing with in front of you. So write this down. Whenever I do this thing, I feel stressed, and then that leads to overeating. Another thing that I want to say is that people also think the solution to stopping overeating is to feel less stressed or to manage stress better. But again, this is also not really sustainable and doesn't create lasting change, because in your life, you will feel stressed at some point. And that's why you have to actually learn to feel stressed without resorting to food. You don't have to fix your life. You don't have to manage your stress better. I mean, yeah, you can learn that. There's really effective tools that you can do to not feel as stressed. But let's first learn how to be stressed and not eat. So you acknowledge the things that make you feel stressed, and then you say, okay, so I know that whenever I'm engaging in these tasks, I'm gonna get food thoughts. I'm gonna want to go and get something to eat. What I did, before doing that stressful task, I would eat when I was hungry, obviously. So I make sure that after lunch or after breakfast, I know that I'm already satisfied. I don't need any more food for the next few hours. So I would do that stressful task right away. Why? Because when you sit down and you try to do the work, you try to do that task, besides getting the loud food noise, you also get these physical sensations in your stomach that mimic real hunger. And I was surprised when I experienced that and I found out about this. It feels really, really close to actual physical hunger. And that's why I was like, okay, so I don't get confused, I better eat first and then do the task, because I'll be involved in the task and I'll get these signals. I know that it's not real hunger, it's just the response that I get whenever I engage in this task. Eat and then sit down to work. I'd sit down to work and feel everything that's coming my way, everything, the thoughts, the physical sensations, and I would just recognize that as a natural response that I have learned to this specific task. So you don't have to do anything. If it gets too hard to handle, then you disengage, take like a 5 or 10-minute break that doesn't involve food. It makes it something relaxing, something that you like to do, and then again you get back to work and try to finish the task. And at first it's gonna be really hard, but you have to repeat it a couple more times, and then it's gonna get easier and easier and easier. So basically, to recap, what you have to do is first become aware of the association and the pattern. Write it down, make sure that you've had food before engaging in the task, and then expect that you'll get all those thoughts and those physical sensations that feel so real, but they're not real. If you don't respond, if you don't act on the impulses that you get, they won't really come up again. So do this for like a week. You'll see that that strong, intense response won't be there. No matter how stressed you feel, you're not gonna have that strong and overwhelming urge to go and grab some food. Please try this out and let me know in the comments if it worked for you. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.